Dark type is one of the types that are becoming extremely popular in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet versions. Partly, it's because there are many strong Ghost-type Pokemon, and Dark-type Pokemon are the most effective choice to deal with them. But mostly, these new Dark-type Pokemon themselves are really powerful, and Battle in Generation 9 has no room for Pokemon that follow a balanced concept. They must be extremely strong in a certain area, otherwise they are not chosen. Now let's find out what's new for the Dark-type in Gen 9. Since Pokemon Sword and Shield, up to now we have had 2 more regional forms and 13 new Dark-type Pokemon. If counted separately for each game version, Pokemon Gen 9 has brought the second most Dark-type Pokemon ever. First, I want to talk about the Hisuian Samurott, has Water and Dark dual type. This is one of the first 3 starter Pokemon to have a regional form, and unlike its noble-minded Unova brother, Hisuian Samurott will do whatever it takes to achieve victory. The second regional form is the Hisuian Qwilfish, which has Dark and Poison dual type. Because the poison it secretes harms the surrounding water, fishermen in the Hisuian region really hate this Pokemon. They can evolve into Overqwil, still keeping the same dual type. This thorny fish is very aggressive, so people call it the Sea Devil. Another new Pokemon is an evolution of Bisharp. We have Kingambit with Dark and Steel dual type. They are the commanders of a large flock of Bisharp, but this Pokemon is not good at tactics, completely uses pure strength to suppress opponents. Meowscarada, a magician cat with Dark and Grass dual type, is the final evolution of the Grass-type starter. Spirigatito, a haughty Pokemon that likes to show off but is extremely sensitive. It will be very attached to its owner and will be jealous if they see them paying attention to other Pokemon. Lokix, a Pokemon that looks like a combination of Grasshopper and Kamen Rider, is the first evolution of Nimble and has Bug and Dark dual type. And with the appearance of this Pokemon, the Dark type has had combinations with all other types. Machif and its evolution, Mabostiff, are 2 Dark-type dog Pokemon. Machif always tries to appear scowl to intimidate others, but it actually makes him look very funny. Mabostiff seems very calm, but it will protect its family with everything it has, like a real gentleman. Bombirdier is an item-dropping Pokemon with Flying and Dark dual type. They have a rather unruly hobby of picking up items and then flying high and dropping them, just for fun. The louder the noise the falling thing makes, the more excited it is. There are 3 Dark-type Paradox Pokemon. The first is the Brute Bonnet, a Grass and Dark dual type Pokemon, which one magazine described as looking both like a dinosaur and a mushroom. Iron Jugulis, Dark and Flying type, looks like a cyborg Hydreigon. And the last Pokemon is Roaring Moon, a Dragon and Dark dual type Pokemon, extremely fierce, and you should avoid it at all costs. In this Generation 9, we have a Dark type legendary quartet. They symbolize natural disasters and negative emotions. The first is wo-chien, Dark and Grass dual type. It was created from resentment and can cause surrounding plants to wither. Chien-pao, Dark and Ice dual type, was created from hatred, can control up to 100 tons of snow, and can play in the avalanche it creates. Ting-lu is a legendary Pokemon with Dark and Ground dual type. It was born from fear and can cause earthquakes and giant cracks up to 50 meters deep. And finally, Chi-Yu, a Dark and Fire dual type that was born from jealousy, can control flames up to 3,000 degrees Celsius and swim in that lava flow. We have a total of 4 new Dark-type moves was introduced. The first move is Ceaseless Edge, belonging exclusively to Hisuian Samurott. This is a physical move with only 65 base power, but it will create a layer of spikes each time it is used, and will have increased damage if the Pokemon has the Sharpness ability. Comeuppance is also a new physical move. If this move is performed after the opponent, it will have 50% more power, but it will have no effect if it is performed first in that turn, similar to Mirror Coat. Kowtow Cleave is Kingambit's exclusive move. This is a move with 85 base power and cannot miss. Because this is a slashing move, its power is also increased if the Pokemon has Sharpness ability, but unfortunately, Kingambit does not have it. And finally, Ruination, the signature move of the Treasures of Ruin. This is basically the Dark-type version of Super Fang, and it will always deal damage equal to 50% of the target's current HP and can hit Ghost Pokemon. Dark-type is an amazing offensive type, as no type is immune to it and has little resistance. However, in terms of defense, there is nothing special about it. So for most Pokemon that choose Dark Terra type, the main purpose is to increase their offensive power. However, Dark-type Pokemon can be immune to status moves of opponents that have Prankster ability, which is utilized by some Pokemon such as Tornadus and Thundurus. They have Prankster, and their task is to use Sunny Day, Rain Dance, or Tailwind as quickly as possible. And because all of their status moves have +1 priority, there are only 2 ways to stop them, using Fake Out or Taunt by a faster Pokemon that also possesses Prankster. Then, with the use of Dark-type Terra and an Equipment, such as Covert Cloak, they will be able to use their status moves without any obstacle. In the first ranked seasons of the 9th generation, when legendary Pokemon from other regions or some Paradox Pokemon did not appear, Mukra was a popular choice to counter the Tatsugiri and Dondozo combo. Some Pokemon, including Amoonguss, one of the best support Pokemon, chose Dark Terra type around this time because the number of crows had dramatically increased and they almost used Taunt to block Amoonguss. When terastallize into a pure Dark type, it can freely dance in front of that crow. Furthermore, at that time there was another extremely popular duo, Armarouge and Indeedee, with Psychic Terrain and Expanding Force. Being a pure Dark-type Pokemon will make Amoonguss completely immune to Psychic moves that duo spam while also removing one weakness, Fire-type. In 1 vs 1 battle mode, when Fake Out is no longer too effective, Chi-Yu and chien-pao are the 2 Pokemon that increase both their offense and defense when have Dark-type Terra. They are all half Dark-type Pokemon and can deal huge amounts of damage. Thanks to its ability to reduce the opponent's defense, Chien-Pao can defeat extremely annoying opponents like Corvic Knight or Toxapex with just 2 turns using Stab Move, Crunch, while Chi-Yu's Dark Pulse can also do the same. In terms of defense, both of these Pokemon are afraid of Rock-type moves, so becoming pure Dark-type will eliminate this weakness and help them take less damage from Spikes or Stealth Rock. Especially for Chien-Pao, removing many weaknesses of Ice-type is extremely valuable. And the last Pokemon I want to mention here is the one who spreads so much fear in single battle mode, Kingambit. This is an extremely strong offensive Pokemon with the Overlord ability, which can increase its attack power by up to 50% if it is the last surviving Pokemon. Using the Dark Terra type can make this Pokemon no longer afraid of ground or fire type moves and reduce damage from fighting type moves, for example, being able to withstand a non-stab Sacred Sword once. In terms of offense, it becomes extremely dangerous. With just 1 turn using Sucker Punch, it can immediately knock out Fluttermane, the most popular Fairy-typed Pokemon currently. That's why it's possible that sometimes Kingambit doesn't even carry any Steel-type move, and that's the power when it hasn't even used Sword Dance. It can be said that this 9th generation is the golden age of the Dark type. And those are the new things that this 9th generation brings to this type. If there is anything missing, please share it below in the comment section. After this video, there will be a series of videos about the Dark type. Please subscribe to receive notifications. Now say goodbye. Peace.